I grew up in a family where everyone's opinion mattered, but ultimately when mom and dad said this is what you're going to do, that's what you did. So I was going to the University of Cincinnati. I came from a very small rural community. The city was somewhat of a major shift for me. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. It was just a matter of, get an education and see where it goes. Enerfab is a fabrication, construction, and maintenance company. Very different today than when I started there as a co-op. In those early days in my employment at Enerfab, we primarily built large tanks and pressure vessels for the beverage industry, both orange juice and wine and beer. Today, we do not only the vessels and the equipment for nearly every process industry, we service a good part of the United States. My career has evolved at Enerfab, and I really enjoy, telling this story because it's about opportunities and what you do with them.
Early on in his career, I would go around and talk to some of the leaders. And I went in and talked to Scott, and I said, what are your ambitions? And he said, I want your job. The first thought is, you gotta be kidding me.
And I remember his response, and he says, you just might get that opportunity. And here we are.
And as I reflected on it, I said, this is one early on that we gotta keep our eye on.
In January, I took the role as president of HBH Holdings, which is a portfolio of companies. Enerfab is one in that group. And I was proud to announce Aaron Landahl, new CEO of Enerfab. Aaron's promotion to CEO and my story are two examples that with the University of Cincinnati Co-ops program, anything's possible. My involvement with the university as an alumni started when Scott Schuster reached out to me, and I met with he as well as Lauren Jocko and had told him my story. Enerfab continues to be a large supporter of the co-op program today. When you have the opportunity to go into the workplace, not only can you carry forward some of that classroom learning, but then you really see how things get done. Several months ago, I had the opportunity to sit down with Dean Lewis and talk about where she is leading the College of Business and what her vision is. Something that we connected with right away is what grit means and what continuous learning means. The employees at Enerfab all have grit. And she used that word describing the students at the University of Cincinnati, and I agree with that. The University of Cincinnati values, Enerfab values, and I believe that the whole city of Cincinnati and our community values. When we have an institution like the University of Cincinnati that has those core values and are instilling that in their students, the talent that we as an employer, as well as other employers, are going to have really is going to create possibilities that we're not even aware of yet.
Well, he has a deep respect for curiosity and fire in the belly. He is where he is today because he engaged in lifelong learning. So he knows that when he meets someone and he's trying to work with them, he's trying to support them, he's trying to promote them, that they really have to recognize the importance of lifelong learning.
When there's a problem at Enerfab, Scott's not afraid to jump in and be a part of the solution. He doesn't manage from his office. He is a part of the team that helps to find the best answer for our customers and our employees.
It's an incredible story. Here's a kid that came from northeast Ohio. His little town had maybe 600 people in. He was the first college graduate in his family. He came here with holes in the bottom of his shoes and has just been a shining star in our business.
It's just a story of opportunities. And I think that's what's really important is, when opportunities are provided, the University of Cincinnati is providing students with the tools to grasp those opportunities, then go do something with it. I think it's just a great example of what's possible, and I think that this recognition with this award is the best way for me to say thank you to the university, to Enerfab, really to everybody along the way that's ever said, Scott, here's an opportunity. My story was one that really demonstrates what the possibilities are. All you need is a shot.